Have you ever looked up at a plane and wondered, who really owns the skies? Because while you're busy booking flights and scrolling through in-flight snacks, a silent war is brewing high above us. And no, it's not between countries. It's between billionaires. This is the secret battle no one told you about. A quiet power play between the man who controls your airport, and the airlines flying out of it. This is the story of why Gautam Adani, one of the richest men in the world, is at odds with India's two aviation giants, IndiGo and Air India. And once you understand this, you'll never look at airports the same way again. Let's start from the beginning. Gautam Adani didn't start with aviation. He built his empire through ports, energy, coal, and infrastructure. But somewhere along the way, Adani realized that airports are the new ports. Think about it. Whoever controls the airport, controls the gateway to a city. The moment you step off a plane, you're already in his world. In 2019, Adani made a bold move. He won the bid to operate 6 major airports in India, including Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Lucknow, Mangalore, Jaipur, and Tiruvananthapuram. Then in 2021, he bought a majority stake in Mumbai International Airport, giving him control over India's second busiest airport. And suddenly, Adani wasn't just in aviation. He was aviation's landlord. But here's where things get interesting. Because the airlines, especially IndiGo and Air India, don't exactly like the idea of renting space from a billionaire with an empire that grows by squeezing margins. Airlines run on razor-thin profits. Every rupee counts. So when airport charges go up, including parking fees, ground handling charges, or fuel infrastructure, it directly eats into airline profits. And when your landlord is Adani, those charges, they go up. In fact, several reports show a steep rise in non-aeronautical revenue at Adani airports. That means more shops, higher rents for those shops, more expensive airport food, and higher charges for airlines. And that's just the start. IndiGo is India's largest airline. Known for efficiency, low costs, and rapid expansion. But even they've started to feel the pressure. Behind closed doors, airline executives have quietly raised concerns about transparency in Adani's pricing, about unfair treatment, about having little say in airport policy decisions. Air India, now owned by the Tata Group, is also navigating this new airport reality. And while they've stayed quiet publicly, there's tension bubbling beneath the surface. Because when Adani controls the airport, he can influence everything, from gate allocations to lounge access to the location of check-in counters. Imagine running a business where your biggest competitor also owns your office building. Now here's where it gets even more twisted. Adani isn't just the landlord, he's starting to become a competitor. In 2023, Adani Airports launched Adani Digital Labs, a platform to offer end-to-end travel experiences. Flights, hotels, cabs, and more. Sounds familiar? That's exactly what IndiGo and Air India also want to do, become travel ecosystems, not just flight operators. So now, the airlines aren't just paying rent to Adani. They're feeding data to a man who might one day take their customers. Let's pause for a second. Do you see the game now? Control the infrastructure. Collect the data. Monetize the experience. You think you're flying on IndiGo or Air India. But every step of your journey, including the terminal you enter, the food you eat, the lounge you relax in, belongs to someone else. And the airlines. They're just tenants. You might ask, why don't the airlines fight back? Well, they do. But quietly. Airlines have started lobbying for fairer terms. They've hinted at alternative airports. And IndiGo has invested in its own airport services arm to reduce dependency. But here's the truth. The Adani Group is massive. Backed by influence, money, and speed. Challenging that head-on. It's like a startup trying to fight Google. And so, the battle moves into the shadows. Every airport tender becomes a battleground. Every government policy, a chess piece. Every airport renovation, a way to rewire control. But it doesn't stop there. Because there's another layer. Airports aren't just about planes. They're about data. Footfall. Consumer behavior. Spending patterns. And with more passengers, more data flows through Adani's systems. Now think, what happens when one man has the power to shape the airport experience for millions? What happens when your airport becomes a branded experience, not of the airline you chose, but the tycoon who built the runway? And here's the kicker. Many of these airports were public. Built with taxpayer money. And now, privately operated. Some say that's efficiency. Others call it quiet colonization. But one thing is clear, aviation in India is no longer just about airlines. It's about who owns the gates. Because when you control the gates, you control the skies. So the next time you book a flight, pause and ask, who really profits from this journey? It might not be who you think. The war isn't loud. But it's real. The battle for India's skies has begun. And it's not being fought in the air. It's being fought on the ground. Right under your feet.